Twitch. I am talking and waiting for the stream to catch up so that I can see if we have audio. And we have audio. Excellent. All right. No Dementia Radio. Recording in 3, 2, 1.
Recorded live on DementiaRadio.org, it's the Funny Music Podcast. Brought to you by FuMP.com, where you can download new free comedy songs twice a week. Now, here's your hosts, Devo Spice and the great Luke Ski.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to the FuMPCast. This is Devo Spice. The great Luke Ski is off at an improv class this evening. If you heard last week's show, he started taking improv classes with Santana, and one of them is tonight. So he will not be joining us. And we're actually recording this early. It is Wednesday, September 20th, because I have my acting class tomorrow night. And like 1 or 2 weeks coming up is going to happen on Thursday as well. So we're going to miss another one. But welcome to episode 692 of the Funny Music Podcast for Thursday, September 21st, 2023. The title of this week's episode is Miniature Turkey, which I will put in the chat for you good folks to try to work into our conversations. We are here this week with Steve Goodie. Welcome back, Steve.
Hi, Devo.
Hi. And the Belle Isle Rats, Mike Reniker and Tom Soloco. Welcome, guys.
Hey!
Good to be here, as always.
So, it is, as I said, episode 692. Yeah, I did that already. Yeah, I'm tired. It's FuMPFest is in 2 weeks. My brain is fried. So, let's do the catch-up thing.
Let's get caught up with what Devo and Luke have been up to since last week. Or else Devo, if Luke bailed and didn't show up.
Hey, what?
Oh, he's right.
I can't blame Luke for bailing this week because, you know, we're doing it on an off night. But yes, Luke was not here this week. So what have I been up to? Well, on Saturday, we filmed my second short film. Which it's called Talk to the Hand. It's a parody of Talk to Me, the movie, the horror movie Talk to Me. And we actually got it all done. And filming went totally smooth. Everything went great. Props worked out. I bought some new lights and new microphones. I think everything worked out. Now I need to edit it, and I'm going to try to have it edited in time to premiere at FuMPFest. No promises that that's going to happen because, again, 2 weeks, but we'll see. And then on Sunday, I did some additional filming with my teacher. He does a teen class, and they're doing a web series called Acting Class Sucks, where I play the teacher. So I got to go in and bitch and moan about how the students don't really want to be there and they're playing on their phones the whole time and stuff. It's fun.
I have a question about your film. What scale are you doing this? Are you like hiring cinematographers and lighting guys? You're kind of doing this on your own, or
not yet? I'm starting very, very small and gradually going to work my way up. This one, it's a no budget production. I bought a couple of props for the movie. I had to rent the space, so I probably spent $300 to $400 total on this thing. I didn't pay any of the actors. I did buy some food, which I then left home and didn't bring with me to the shoot. But it's the thought that counts, right? So I didn't hire a cinematographer for this film, and I probably won't for the next one, which is a mockumentary. But the one after that, I'm probably going to start hiring a cinematographer just because, like, my eyesight sucks, and that little screen on the camera, I have trouble, like, telling when it's in focus. And, like, I know the cinematographer from my acting class. He was the one who shot the teen classes. I was like, I'll just hire him. And he's got much better equipment than I have. He knows how to use it. And, so I'll just pay him to show up and film it and be done with it. And the other thing I want to hire other people to do eventually when I have money is editing, because I'm okay at editing, but I'm not great at it, and especially like special effects and stuff. This film is only going to have one effect shot, and it's just a green screen, and so I should be able to do that. But like going forward, it's like I'll do a rough cut of the film and then hand it off to a proper editor to clean up and add the effects and the color correction and all of that stuff that I just can't be bothered to do. But for now, yeah, I'm doing everything myself.
It's cool. It's fun, isn't it? It's fun, but man, it's all got to come together. The writing, the acting, the camera shot, everything makes a difference. You know? So
it's weird. I'm so not used to like working with people who want to work with me on these projects. Like I'm so used to just people blowing me off and like, yeah, sure, Devo, that'll be fun. Yeah, and like not showing up or doing a half-assed job or whatever. But these were all people who I've met over the past year in my acting class. So like I'm friends with all of them, and they were all like gung-ho excited about the script. They all thought it was great, and they were all excited about the film, and we showed up, and there were no egos involved. Everyone had a great time, and we did the shot, and everything was great. So I could not have asked for a better shoot on Saturday. It was I mean, other than remembering to bring the food with me, but other than that, it was great.
That's great, and it's good knowing when to hand it off to a pro.
Yeah.
Let them do their thing. Now, are you going to watch what he does so you can learn and maybe do it yourself in the future, or are you just going to keep farming it out?
I think once I start farming it out, I'm probably going to keep farming it out, assuming I can afford to, because, again, I'm financing this myself at the moment. But, like, he has far better equipment than I have. So I'd rather, because if I did it myself, I'd have to buy better equipment, and I don't want to buy better equipment. I want to hire somebody who has the better equipment and let him do it. So,
good answer.
It's all about the cameras and the lenses. Those guys have the pro cameras and the pro lenses. It makes a huge difference.
Right.
I mean, you can do a lot with an iPhone, but it still doesn't get that full-on cinematic look that you get with good cameras and good lenses.
Yeah. Well, I have a DSLR Panasonic something with decent lens on it. So it wasn't shot on an iPhone, but it does look nice. I shot my first short on that one. And it looks nice, but again,
that shows you my level of proficiency. The fact that I would assume you were using an iPhone because I use one. So I'm busted on that.
I'm curious. Cool. I'm just sorry. I'm curious. Am I the only one who's driven nuts? But when I see movies on people's televisions now, a lot of times it's got that super high res, and I think it has something to do with frame rate, where it doesn't look like a movie anymore. It just looks like high-res video. And for some reason, for me, it instantly takes away the movie reality. Ironic, because it looks more accurate and real than a film. But it looks like I'm looking at a stage play.
Yep, they're moving towards not only high, like the HDR is the big thing right now, and high def, they're 4K, and then they're working on 8K now, trying to make that a thing. But the high frame rate is the next thing. And I remember when, I think it was The Hobbit came out, it was originally released at either 60 frames per second or 120 frames per second. And nobody liked it because it was like too real, and you could see like all the details in the props that made them look fake. Whereas standard cinema is 24 frames per second, which is great until you have to do a panning shot, because then it's like then you can see the frames.
But it's like, to my eye, it instantly removes that movie feel, and it looks like you're just looking at people sitting there practicing their lines.
Yeah, basically.
It doesn't look like where they are. Like if you see Star Wars that way, it's like, oh, it's just people on a set doing things. I don't know, and a lot of people seem to not mind it.
Yeah, that's because we're old and we're used to the old 24 frames per second thing. My kids are going to be used to 60, 120 frames per second on their phone, and they're going to start to expect that when they watch movies and stuff. Everything's going to standardize on 120 from what I've been told, because that's the reason it being is because 120 is divisible by all the other frame rates. So 120 is divisible by 60, 30, and 24. So you can get you can easily make all the other frame rates out of the 120 once you have all that data.
Well, I better get working on my old man frame rate rant.
Yeah.
Oh, you damn kids, you and your fast frame rates.
When I was a boy, we had 24 frames a second, and we liked it.
And an 8-track in the Corolla.
And the only other thing I wanted to mention is Friday is my anniversary.
Yay!
So it'll be
Cool.
22 years on Friday.
Wow.
Are you still wrong about most things?
I am. In fact,
just
I'm
check.
more wrong now than I have been ever before. So,
See, you're wrong about that.
yeah.
Good job.
Just checking.
All right. So, Rats, what have you guys been up to?
Tom?
Oh, I just got back from a very, very long bike tour last night. Biked out from the Detroit area to Muskegon, took a ferry across to Milwaukee, down to Chicago, and then did a 4-day trip back.
Holy crap. How long was that?
It's about, I want to say 280, 300 miles maybe total.
Wow.
It's about 200 miles to get to that where the ferry is. But coming back from Chicago, I stayed on dry land the whole time. And it's about 280, 300 maybe.
Wow.
Did you ride your bike around the deck on the ferry so that you could keep momentum going? Or?
No. I'm glad you asked that because that was a very, very important ask.
Yes. Mike, any bike rides in your future?
Me? No. I don't even own a bike. I used to tease him when we were younger. I said, why are you doing all this bike? Just get in a car. You can go the same distance. But no, nothing really new here since last time. Just, same old stuff. My 92-year-old mother-in-law is still living with us, and that's kind of been an issue here and there. But overall, other than that, my daughter's doing really well. She's in a new theater production, doing well in school, dancing a lot, taking like 3 or 4 dance classes a week.
Nice.
So, overall, I got nothing dramatic to report since last time we were here. I wish
no drama is good drama.
Yeah. So no more. The standard difficulties of life notwithstanding, I got no complaints. So
cool.
Just haven't really had time to work on music much lately, unfortunately. But
oh yeah, tell me about it. Yeah, I know all about that.
You think, oh yeah, I'm gonna go tonight. I'm gonna work on some stuff, and then something comes up. You got to do this, but standard stuff when you're married and you have kids, as you well know.
Totally. Or married and kids and planning a music convention. How it goes.
How much time does that take? That's got to be an arduous undertaking, all the logistics involved in that.
I mean, this year has been easier because I didn't have to deal with the hotel. But it's just like, and like a lot of the big stuff we finished up months ago, which is like all booking the acts and the schedule and stuff. So like now it's just, there's just a pile of like little things I got to do. And hopefully get them all done in time by the time I leave 2 weeks from today, I guess. Yeah. We'll see.
I still wish Weird Al would show up at one of those things,
I would love that.
But, he's got to be aware of you guys, right?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, he knows about us.
Oh, the place would melt down.
Yeah,
oh, man.
It would. I've experienced that because Al showed up unexpectedly at the first Alcon convention in 1998 that I was at.
Wow. And
there's footage of that on YouTube if you look it up because his drummer Bermuda was scheduled to perform and Bermuda was up there giving a speech, and at the end of Bermuda's speech he was showing a video, and the video was of Al addressing Alcon saying, I'm flattered you guys are having this convention, I just wish I could be there, but I'm so busy, blah blah blah. And then he goes, oh, who am I kidding? I'm not that busy. And he gets up and runs off screen and then jumps out from behind stage in front of 200 stunned fans. And Luke's
awesome.
ex-wife, Stephanie, who he met at that event, was running the lights. And she's standing at the lights going, why is there somebody on stage? Who's on stage? Nobody's supposed to be on stage. Why can't I see them? Oh, the lights, right. And then she turned on the light and it was Al. And she's like, oh!
It wouldn't have been louder if it was Steve Perry joining Journey on stage.
Right, yeah. But yeah, look up that video on YouTube. It's a lot of fun.
Cool.
So, Steve, what have you been up to?
Oh, I was just in Scotland riding a bicycle every day.
Yeah, how was Edinburgh?
It was great. You know, last year when Brad and I, my comedy buddy, last year we went over there with the express intention of losing lots of money and having lots of fun, and we did. Mm-hmm. And this year the goal was to break even and have lots of fun. So we almost did.
Almost did. Okay.
Really close. Spent a whole month and almost didn't lose anything.
All right. Well, that's progress. That's progress.
I think so. Yeah. Absolutely.
Hey, Steve, did you go to that festival they had in Edinburgh? What's that art festival they have there?
The Edinburgh Fringe Festival. Yes.
Yeah, the Fringe Festival. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That must have been pretty cool.
It was crazy cool. Yeah, last year we did one show, our Halloween show. This year we did 3 shows. So every day we're doing 3 shows, and plus I was teching for 2 other shows that I had hired myself out to in the interest of breaking even.
Cool.
And so I was just running nonstop.
So you actually performed at it.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, cool, man. That's great. Cool.
You can. Cool. You know how? Write them a check.
Really?
Yeah. That's really all it takes. You got to get your check in before everybody else gets their check in. But yeah, you can.
One of my piano tuning customers 2 weeks ago said, "Oh yeah, I just got back from Scotland and I went to this," and she told me all about it. The Fringe. I'd never heard of it before. Man, it just sounds so cool.
It is. And it's only been going on 75 years, so that may be why you haven't heard of it.
Yeah, probably. I'm sure that's why. Yeah, a little late to the party on that one.
Gotta know. Did you go to any distilleries?
The whole town is a distillery. You don't need to go anywhere. It was great. Plus, you can get pizza with haggis on it.
Oh.
That's if you do something wrong.
No, you showed up in Edinburgh. That's what you did wrong.
Did you
First
try
prize
haggis?
is haggis. Second prize is 2 of them.
Yeah.
Wait, I gotta say that a guy from my church actually went to Scotland about a month ago, and he said haggis was pretty good.
Well, from what I understand, it's like sausage. It's not any more gross than what we put in sausage and don't think about. It's just, different animal and different percentage from this organ or that organ. But the whole thing is a nightmare if you think about it too hard. So it's best not to. I did my hot dog song quite a bit, and I would say to the folks, if you want to, just insert the word haggis where I say hot dog, and everybody was fine with it. And then someone yelled out, "We eat hot dogs too!" Like, okay, great. So you're gross twice as much as we are.
Now, if there was ballparks, so you'd get a haggis hot dog from the vendor guy. You could do that.
If you do haggis hot dog, you also get the alliteration award.
Nice.
All right, so Steve, you posted a song.
I did. Yeah, I heard kind of late to the party, I don't know why, that the FuMP is putting together a Tom Lehrer tribute album. So I thought, that'll be easy. I've been doing the elements on the accordion for a year now. No problem. And then it turns out somebody else is already doing the elements. Okay, yeah. Then I thought, all right, no problem. I did a parody of the Vatican Rag a few years ago. I'll just use that and put the right lyrics in. And then, nope, somebody else is doing that. Who's doing that? All right, Luke. So I had to come up with a new one. So it was fun to do the hunting song, which I always have enjoyed. And to do it, all these other songs I've always tried to imitate Tom's piano skills, either on the piano or on an accordion, and this time, no piano. It was just guitars, which I know how to play, and kazoos, which I also know how to play.
All right, so here is The Hunting Song by Steve Goodie.
I always will remember 'twas a year ago November. I went out to hunt some deer on a morning bright and clear. I went and shot the maximum the game laws would allow. 2 game wardens, 7 hunters, and a cow. I was in no mood to trifle. I took down my trusty rifle and went out to stalk my prey. What a haul I made that day. I tied them to my fender and I drove them home somehow. 2 game wardens, 7 hunters, and a cow. The law was very firm, it took away my permit, the worst punishment I ever endured. Turns out there was a reason, cows were out of season and one of the hunters wasn't insured. People ask me how I do it, and I say there's nothing to it. You just stand there looking cute, and when something moves, you shoot. And there's 10 stuffed heads in my trophy room right now. 2 game wardens, 7 hunters, and a purebred Guernsey cow.
Ta-da!
Nice.
The kazoos really add a lot to it.
I was so looking forward to doing kazoos And then I put down the guitars with much effort because some of those guitar licks are faster than I can actually play. And I thought, I don't want to put kazoos in because it's going to cover up my brilliant guitar work. And I said, nah, put the kazoos in. So I did.
No, you got to have the kazoos. The kazoos are great.
And I think if you're talking about hunting there, we all know the most dangerous quarry when you're hunting are miniature turkeys.
Miniature turkeys. You got it in the first. It's because they're miniature.
Yep. Hard to hit. Mm-hmm. They can dole out some damage.
Yes, they can. So I understand this was your third choice, but why this song? Or maybe this was your seventh choice. I don't know.
Well, on the list of songs that were still available, which was a rather limited list.
Yeah, sorry.
Sorry. They're all great. I don't know. This one just spoke to me. It's fun. And, I live in Tennessee where you can have a gun anywhere for no reason, loaded, open carry, whatever you want. There's no regulation at all. So, hey. Yeah.
So you should just drive around with a cow like attached to the front of your car, and people are like, "Yeah, hunter."
I just try to stay home.
It's probably for
that's why I do so many house concerts. It's much more likely to get shot in someone's house than in a club or in your car somewhere.
Sure.
Which reminds me, hey, right after FuMPFest on I think it's Monday the 9th of October, I'm doing a house concert in Rochester, home of
Shoebox.
Shoebox and Captain What's-His-Face? Mark. I can never remember what his actual he calls himself. Incubus, that guy. So if anybody's in the Rochester area, let's do this.
Wait, Captain Incubus? Wait, who?
Yeah.
Professor Incubus?
Professor Incubus, that's what I'm trying to say.
Professor Incubus, okay.
This is the Rochester area.
I was thinking Captain Ambivalent, but he's not from Rochester.
Nobody's really sure where he's from.
Yeah. I think he's from Chicago because he was at FuMPFest in 2021.
Okay.
So, but anyway. But yeah, and Shoebox will be at FuMPFest too this year, and he should be home by.
We all have to go home real fast.
Yeah, he should be home by Monday night. So
he'll think he would.
I will be home by Monday night. That's for sure.
Yes, but you live nowhere near Rochester.
That's true. Well, it's not that far. I could come up, but I have.
No, see, this is my reverse psychology. I don't think you really should.
Yeah.
You should just go home.
I absolutely should not. I should come home and sleep for about a week.
All right.
So yeah, I've always dug the hunting song. I've always thought it was highly amusing. Not a hunter myself. I'm animal lover, but I always thought it was funny.
Hey, what's the closest thing he ever had to a hit, Tom Lehrer? Was there anything like really like kind of made it out into the culture?
Probably Silent E and the other Electric Company stuff.
Yeah, those were on the Electric Company. Trying to think of what else.
Because I'm really late to the party. I'm Tom Lehrer. I think I mentioned that last time. But man, I just spent a night listening to his stuff, and man,
it's great. Isn't it?
The level of lyrical, musical genius there, and just
not one soft rhyme ever. Every rhyme, is a rhyme.
Yep.
Well, except when he intentionally says Rhine.
Right, he's making. Hello, try to pay attention, Tom.
I know.
He's very mathematical in his writing.
Yeah. And
I don't know that he ever had a song that got on the radio other than Goofy Radio, but I could be wrong.
Yeah, I mean, on the Dr. Demento show, I know like "So Long, Mom," the Masochism Tango, Christmas Carol. Those are kind of the big ones.
I believe he was something of a TV hit.
And The Elements, obviously.
He was really climbing in as a television personality with musical funniness, and then he just didn't want to do it anymore.
Yeah,
I think he got burned out and discovered that no matter how much you satirize a social ill, you're not helping it. So might as well just put my energy into teaching mathematics, which might help.
Yeah,
I think that was his thinking.
Yeah, so he just kind of backed away from music and performing altogether. When did that happen? Like that was that in the 60s?
Late 60s, I think.
Late 60s?
I read a book about him, and it's a long time ago. I wish I should have brushed up for this. But I believe the author was saying Tom just did not realize how much easier this came to him than to everybody else. Just the piano skills and the cleverness with the lyrics and the ability to perform it and memorize all this stuff was just so easy for him that he didn't really maybe value it as much as a normal person might.
Makes sense.
It just falls right out of him.
So somehow Tom found out about our little compilation album.
Yeah. How could that be?
Yeah,
Just because it's on Needle Juice Records.
Maybe. So Tom reached out to Jeff Morris, who's going to be at FuMPFest, and was like, "Hey, can you pick up a copy for me while you're at FuMPFest?" So Tom will hear all of these songs.
That's great. Where does Tom live now?
I don't know. Was he still in Massachusetts or in California? Yeah, I couldn't tell you. I don't know. I don't know. I haven't tried stalking him recently. I mean,
maybe we should just ask Jeff.
We can ask Jeff. Yeah,
Jeff knows everything.
Jeff knows everything and everyone, and so does Kendra. Kendra knows everybody.
That is true. But Jeff can remember their addresses.
Kendra emailed me like a month or two ago. It was like, "Hey, I'm meeting up with so and so. He's a friend of mine. He's interested in coming out to FuMPFest." And I'm like, "How do you know everybody?"
She does know everybody.
I don't understand it. Anyway. All right. Anything else you want to say about Edinburgh? Was there anything? How did the performances go themselves?
We had a lot of fun at all of them. The Halloween show is one that Brad and I do together, and we set that up to do it at 10:15 in the morning, which made sense. It's a kids show, really for kids, except that we forgot that the last week of the festival, all the kids are back in school. So the last week sucked. But the first 2 weeks were a lot of fun. We only had a little theater. It only sat about 50 people. But we did okay filling it up for the most part, the first 2 weeks. And then after that was my Al, the Weird tribute, and how Daniel Radcliffe got mixed up in this nonsense, which is my tribute to Al and Daniel Radcliffe, who played Al in the biopic, as you all know all of this.
Yep.
And that did pretty good business at first. And I got a very good review in something called Broadway Baby, and I can share that review because I'm so excited about it. It's like the most glowing review I've ever gotten for anything. And it's hard to get someone to come do a review when there's 4,000 shows in town and you're playing one of the free fringe little basement-ish theaters. But this lady happened to be sitting in this theater is like a little room in what is a hostel and a bar and a restaurant right in the middle of Old Town, Edinburgh. And she happened to be there writing. She's a freelance writer. She's a novelist. She's a reviewer. She's a journalist. And she just happened to be sitting around with a computer every day. And so I just happened to be talking to her. And it turns out she does reviews. Oh, wow. You want to come review our show? It's on the other side of this wall. It's right there every day at 11:15. And so she actually did come and then wrote a really nice review, which is helping me get in the States a little action. There's 3 clubs/theaters here in Nashville, all of which I've approached, and they're all been pretty positive. We might actually get this show on stage here on a fairly regular basis. And
nice.
I might not have to fly 6,000 miles to do it.
That'd be great.
Actually make some money. That would be cool.
Ooh.
That's awesome.
Okay, so that was the first 2 shows. And then the third show we did, we put a ton of effort into the Halloween show. I put 3 tons of effort into the Weird Al Daniel show. And then we needed one more for Brad to be the star of it. And Brad has kind of a high voice, kind of sings like Sting. So we had an idea of doing something called Sting Along with Brad. It's karaoke night at Sting's house, and he's drunk, and he won't let anybody else have the microphone. So Brad just had to pick out some songs he liked. I had to learn them on the guitar. We put a total of 20 minutes into that, and it was a ton of fun. We did that every night at 10:30 after everything else was done. It was a really great way to end a very frantic fringe day every single day, to just goof off with people who wanted to sing karaoke-ish. And a lot of these people were young people who had never heard these songs on purpose, but somehow Sting songs are in everybody's head everywhere.
Yeah.
You just start playing one and everybody starts singing. It's the craziest thing. So that was a lot of fun. And we only lost a little bit of money on that one.
Did you plan out the songs, or did you improvise stuff?
We had to plan out songs because otherwise it would just be a big mess. Brad and I had to both know what we were doing. But then we would go off on weird tangents when we thought about it, or if other people were screwing it up, we'd go along with what they were doing. And it was quite improv-y a lot of the time.
Nice. So are you thinking about going back to Edinburgh next year?
Oh, yes. Heavens, yes. I don't know if I can talk Brad into doing it again. He's a working comedian. When he works a month on boats, right now he's in Alaska, and he does the Caribbean, and he does Europe a lot. He makes a ton of money, and he just, passes all that. It's not that it costs him particularly a lot to spend to be in Edinburgh. It's what he's not earning that he could be earning that just kills him.
Yeah.
So I don't know if I can talk him into it again. Which, either way is fine. I will probably go back and do the Al show again, whether he wants to do it or not. I don't think I'll miss the Halloween show that much because we've done that a lot, and we're about to do it again with Halloween coming up. but I would really like to do the Owl show some more because it's really getting it on its feet. It's really coming on. I will be doing it at FuMPFest, so you can decide for yourself whether I've been wasting my time. But I really think it has made some progress.
Awesome.
Who knows? That's the answer. Who knows?
So, anything you would like to plug?
Yes, go to FuMPFest, and then go to Shoebox's house. And then it's not at Shoebox's house, but down the street from Shoebox on October 9th, I'll be doing a show in Rochester. And then I'm doing another one in Ithaca. No, I'm sorry. First, Liverpool, New York on the 10th of October. Ithaca on the 11th. And 2 shows in the Baltimore area on the 12th and 13th. And I'll put all that on my website just as soon as I can. SteveGoodie.com.
All righty.
Hooray.
Well, let's do some news.
Greetings, FuMPFest. Ooh, that one was booming. I like that. Hello.
FuMPFest is back. And this time, we're teaming up with Con on the Cob. Con on the Cob! Con on the Cob is taking place October 5th through 8th in Richfield, Ohio, and FuMPFest will be a part of it. This year's performers include Bonnie Gordon, Jeff Whitmire, Ross Childs, Insane Ian,
There's plenty of room in the dungeon, Castlevania.
Steve Goodie, The Great Luke Ski, Toby Danger, and Worm Quartet.
This is a song, it's a song I wrote so I could sing it with TV's Kyle, but TV's Kyle isn't at FuMPFest, so I can't perform this song.
And our 2023 guest of honor, Ogden Edsel.
Dead puppies aren't much fun.
FuMPFest is a full weekend of comedy music and related weirdness, including the Logan Whitehurst Memorial Awards for Excellence in Comedy Music, dumb parody ideas, live podcast recordings, and more. Plus, all of the games, art, freaks, and fun that come with Con on the Cob. FuMPFest, now with blackjack and hookers.
Yeah, that's right, baby.
For information and to register, visit FuMPFest.com. That's FuMPFest.com.
Sweet. Time for funny music news. Something, something, something.
That's what I was doing last night. I was up till about 1:30 playing blackjack and hookers.
Of course you are.
All right. In the news, the only news I have is FuMPFest news. The t-shirt should be available very, very soon. I'm just waiting on a quote from the printer because this is it was a 6-color design. I managed to get it down to 5. If I can afford that, I'll do that. Otherwise, I may have to cut it down to 4. But I really like the full color design. So that'll hopefully be up tomorrow, maybe Friday. However, in the other FuMPFest news is none of our usual volunteers who run Table 27 can make it this year. None of them.
Even Janice?
Janice
is going?
Yeah, she's going. She doesn't normally work the table, though.
Oh, okay. Anyway, carry on.
But yeah, but she might be able to. So we're looking for some volunteers. We can pull some from Con on the Cob. Andy has said there should be a couple of people available to help run the table, but I would like some additional help from our group of people. So if you're going to be there and can help us out, please get in touch with me and we'll get you set up. The Table 27 is in the back of the performance room, so you're not going to miss any concerts or anything. And that's about it. So please email me if you think you can help out. Register now at FuMPFest.com. Pick up the FuMPFest 2021 2-CD compilation album. I'll have more of those at the event as well. And that's it. All right. Tour dates. On Sundays online, Steve Goodie hosting at the Bluebird. You're still doing that, right?
Still doing that, yeah. Even when I'm in Scotland, I'm doing it.
I kept announcing it while you were in Scotland, so.
It's great.
Sundays online, 2 Sleeps. Mondays online, Steve Goodie and Brad Tassel at virtualcomedyshow.com. You still doing that too?
Still doing that. And when we were in Scotland, we'd do it at 3 a.m, so it would be at 9 p.m. Central, which was insane. God.
When did you sleep?
There was no sleeping.
Oh, okay. No sleep and Scotland. Yeah, do that. It'll be your next month's FuMP song. All right, on the 22nd on Twitch is Mikey Mason. The 24th in Jefferson, Louisiana, and online, the Consortium of Genius. The 29th in Murfreesboro, Tennessee, Nuclear Bubble Wrap. The 30th in Redding, California, Phil Johnson and Roadside Attraction. And the 30th in Muncie, Indiana, Mikey Mason. Birthdays coming up on the 25th. Danita Smith. Happy birthday, Danita. Yay. All right. What?
It's funny that there's one birthday the whole month.
Oh, yeah. No, just in the next week. That's what.
There's one birthday this week.
Yes.
Right.
There might be more, but that's the only one I have on the spreadsheet. So, all right, Rats, give us a quick intro to this song. We'll give it a listen.
Okay, so we all love our superheroes, right? Batman, Superman, Spider-Man, Iron Man, Aquaman, friggin' Soap Dish Man, Shoehorn Man. I made those up, but anyway, so. What's the one thing that all superheroes have in common? What would you say?
Where?
Superpowers?
No. They all do things. They do
things.
They're saving humanity. They're saving people from evil, bad guys and stuff like that. Whereas in contrast, the Carcass Man doesn't do jack. But you take any carcass, and the Carcass Man can do everything that carcass can do and more. So the Carcass Man is a hero, not for what he does, but for what he doesn't do.
All right.
So that's really all there is to be said about the Carcass Man. Stupid as that was.
Here is Carcass Man by the Belle Isle Rats.
And you'll be a fan. Lying on the road dead, he could do it. Stinking up the backyard, nothing to it. Attracting a bunch of flies, got it covered. Birds pecking out your eyes, it's just another day for Carcass Man. You'll be a fan. Carcass Man, he can do anything a carcass can. Carcass Man, watch him in action and you'll be a fan.
Yay, Carcass Man. This needs to be the new Marvel movie.
For whoever wants to take a massive loss, that's a great idea.
Hey, I'm getting into filmmaking. Maybe I can make the Carcass Man movie.
Hey, you're just the guy to do it. You've got the budget for it.
Yes.
He knows how to lose money just like anybody else and leave the food at home.
We can spend dozens of dollars filming this movie, and we'll go from there.
That was a great example of a Belle Isle Rats tune. Just silly lyrics, good production, and then that completely gratuitous musical interlude there that served no purpose whatsoever.
We got to keep you awake when you're playing the drums. You see, I'm pretty sure that's what's happening.
That musical interlude, that was the last one of those things we did that wasn't assembled post recording. We actually learned that. We spent several hours actually learning that. After that time, we thought, why bother? Let's just piece it together. Play me the notes and we'll program it in. But I think that's probably the shortest song we've ever done. It's not even 2 minutes, and certainly one of the stupidest. But yeah, that was definitely a little Frank Zappa-esque influence there in that part, which I know we've discussed before on the show. But
so what was the idea? Like, where did you get the idea for Carcass Man?
Okay, there's actually a little bit of history between Tom and I going back to 1977, which tells us how old we are. Of course, I like to say we're Weird Al's age. That way we don't sound as old as we really are. So anyway, this was summer of 1977. Tom and I are both 16. And I just got my driver's license. My dad let me borrow his Jeep Grand Cherokee because I lived in Detroit. So, of course, my dad worked in the automotive industry. He worked for American Motors, father of the Pacer and the Gremlin. But they had the Jeeps, which were great, which is why Chrysler bought them later because of Jeep. Anyway, so he actually let me take the Jeep, and Tom and I took this trip up to northern Michigan. You know, Michigan's one of those states where you get a bonus state. No other state has a bonus state like the Upper Peninsula. You get 2 states in one. And it has its own culture up there. Anyway, we drove up there, and this is 16-year-old stupidity. We actually kept a log of roadkill. Do you remember that, Tom?
Vaguely now, but yeah, that sounds entirely consistent with what we would have been doing. Sure.
Yes, our level of maturity at the time, and not far much more mature now, but no, we had a log, and it was like dead raccoon, 11:53 a.m. And then a little later on, dead dog, 1:46 p.m. I don't remember if we actually noted the location or not, but we kept this journal all the way up to the Upper Peninsula, and I don't know. Maybe that in subconscious way I was thinking about that, but it was a really fun trip, and really that's really all I remember about it is logging the roadkill. Remember anything else, Tom, from that?
Pasties.
Oh, yeah. If you guys don't know does anybody know what pasties are? You guys know what pasties are?
I have some idea. It's not what Tom thinks they are.
I'm thinking of pasties, but no, not
exactly
pasties.
what you would think.
Pasties are something that only people from northern Michigan know. They're basically meat pies. It's about the size of an artillery shell, and it's got like hamburger and meat and potatoes in there, and they're delicious, and they're just wrapped inside this like baked bun kind of thing. And they have them all over the UP. That's short for Upper Peninsula, for those in the know.
That sounds wonderful.
Oh, they're awesome. But they're pasties. And then everybody up there has they call it a sauna. We call them saunas. Mm-hmm. But it's because there's a lot of Finnish immigrants. The Finns all settle up in the UP. And so they all have saunas, but they call them saunas. Can boys want to take a sauna? Sauna.
Just think of like a high-end Hot Pocket.
Yeah.
Yes.
You took a Hot Pocket and smothered it in poutine. You'd maybe get an idea.
No, there's actually some. I guess you could put gravy on them, but I'm used to just when I've had them, they're just basically a giant meat pie, like folded over. So I think it was. I want to look it up, but I think it had something to do with it was an easy thing to carry around to where you were working. Maybe take them down in a mine, out in the field somewhere. They're very hardy and.
Yeah, it was invented by the Earl of Pasty.
Yes.
We just smothered them in ketchup. That was the thing we did. So you guys are going to be tested on this later. 2 things from the UP: saunas and pasties. So just remember those things. If you ever go up to the UP, you'll kind of be in the know.
I know some Yoopers. I'm familiar.
Yeah. Oh, there's the band, the Yoopers, right?
The Yoopers. Yeah, they're from the Upper Peninsula. Yeah.
It happened. Yeah.
And they really do talk like that up there.
They do.
Kind of like that Minnesota thing.
Oh, you betcha.
Yeah.
Oh, sure.
Oh, yeah.
And what was that song? It's second week of deer camp.
Yeah, second week of deer camp. Yeah.
Yes.
We were talking about hunting earlier. My dad, every year my dad went hunting up in the UP. That's what you did. If you lived in Michigan, you went hunting in the UP, and you had a place up north. Everybody had it, And I always wanted to go, but by the time I got old enough to go, the last thing I wanted to do was shoot an animal. So I never actually went up there. But
because when you shoot an animal, you're not done. The fun is just beginning.
Yeah,
my dad. You just wanted to irritate them a little bit.
That's right. Make them late. It's the old Mitch Hedberg bit about fishing. When they throw them back, they don't want to eat them. They just want to make them late for something. Hey, man, why are you late to the meeting? There's a lot of traffic. Oh, yeah, let me see the inside of your lip.
Yeah.
All right. Sorry.
That guy was a genius. And then my dad there was a hunting camp up there, this really rustic old log cabin with no running water, no electricity. And Tom and I, remember that time we stayed up there the first night and we're having this bar. We couldn't get into the place. We were locked out. We went up there, but nobody thought to give us a key. We just thought somehow it'd be open. So we're camping out there, couldn't get inside the place, and we're making this big fire. And then we look over and here's this bear, like right behind the cabin. We're like, oh shit.
Yes, if I remember right, we kind of unconsciously just turned it into a stupid movie scene. Because I looked at you and said, I think it's probably in our best interest that we would get up and perhaps get into a safer location. I can't remember the exact words, but you just went with it and you totally calm me. Yes, I agree with what you're saying.
Yeah, showing kind of any kind of emotion or drama would not have been cool. So yeah, it would have been like, there's a bear. He could potentially kill us. We should probably think about relocating at this time.
Yes, I totally agree. And then we started banging on pans. And I think when I got done, I didn't realize how furiously I was doing it. The pan, I was like a pot. It was concave. I got done with it.
Does that help get rid of a bear? Or does it just infuriate the bear?
I'm sure the bear just thought, these guys aren't cool. I'm going to go somewhere else to another camp.
Do you know what kind of bear it was?
It was a black bear.
It was a black bear. Okay.
Yeah.
I remember he didn't get much closer. He was behind the log cabin we were locked out of on one side. And then I remember he kind of went on the other side and we could see him go to the other side. And that's when you said, he's probably more scared of us than we are of him. And that's when you got the idea to go out there and start banging pots and pans. And then he bailed. So, wow. But we came that close to death.
Yeah, we have a lot of black bears around here. They generally don't care about people, and like you can scare them off. They're big pussy cats. Not really, but they're.
Wow, someone's gonna take your advice and get killed.
Yeah, I know. Yeah,
I can easily imagine.
Tracked all that.
One of those shows.
There's a video on my Instagram of from a couple of months ago when I went jogging, and as I was walking back to my car, there was a bear walking the other way right towards me. So I pulled out my camera and started filming, and I just kind of gave him a wide berth. I made sure that he knew I was there, so I didn't scare him, because the last thing you want to do is startle a bear. And I just gave him a wide berth and let him walk on by, and he walked up the hill towards the middle school and then into the woods in the back.
I'm imagining one of those 1,000 Ways to Die shows. You ever see that?
Oh, yeah.
Yes, then I can just hear the voiceover. Yeah, he said he's probably more scared of us than we are of him, but he wasn't.
Yeah, it's the brown bears and the grizzly bears you got to watch.
Yeah,
really watch.
I want that
and even the polar bears are really nasty, apparently.
Oh yeah. You're not going to intimidate them.
Yeah.
My mom and dad still live in northern Michigan, and every day they see deer and turkey. But a bear, that elicits a phone call to me. So that's how rare they are. Yeah, so.
Are they miniature turkeys by any chance?
Oh,
they're standard sized turkeys. They're a little darker than you think of when you think of a turkey. But yeah, they're wild turkey. They're out there every day.
Okay.
Deer.
Just ask them.
That was a beautiful way to get in the magic phrase today.
It was, yes. It took me. I missed it initially, so it took a little bit of a delay there. But yeah.
Well,
yeah, my in-laws. I was over my in-laws' house one day, and a bear came and ripped open their garbage can, pulled out the bag, ripped open the bag, and started, poking around for the food that he wanted. Used the lid of the garbage can as a food tray. He literally put the food he wanted on the tray, and then dragged it into the woods and started eating off of it like it was a plate. And we were like, okay.
Wow.
Resourceful bugger.
Yeah.
Mad respect to that bear.
Oh man.
Yeah, they know what they're doing. All right. Anything you'd like to plug?
Oh yes, our standard nothing. No, just just BelleIsleRats.com. All our tunes are up there. We got some videos. We actually did a making of video of the last project, which I think 7 people have watched so far. So that's pretty good for us. So, but really, no, I'm actually working on new songs right now that we're going to record hopefully next year. Our next batch of songs have kind of started conceptualizing those and working on those and dipping into that subconscious river of stupidity to see what comes up at any given day and kind of go from there. But other than that, not really. Tom, do you have anything to promote?
No, I'm just still stuck on the bear. I'm thinking, is there a bear version of Miss Manners that tells them which is the proper garbage can lid to use?
There might be. I don't know. Yeah. All right. Let's do some feedback.
Making the internet absolutely ridiculous. Dementia Radio.
www.dementiaradio.org. Port 8027.
Please hang up and try again.
This is the part where there's feedback. Feedback. Feedback, you know that segment of the show we do about now? Feedback. Feedback.
Feedback.
Feedback.
Alvarant
wrote, Devo, that game you were developing doesn't use Unity, does it? No, it does not. I was using Game Salad, and I am going to finish that game like after FuMPFest. I'll get back to it. But I heard something happened with the Unity license agreement that people are pissed off about, but I don't know what, because I wasn't following it. And like all of a sudden now Unity's CEO is like apologizing up and down, and they're trying to backpedal or something. I don't know. But no, it does. I've played with Unity. I don't know it very well. I was thinking about using it, but if they're going to be putting restrictive licensing on it, maybe I won't. But I do like Game Salad, but it's tough. And Alvarant also wrote, I got to be part of a video tribute to a retiring pirate band, Musical Blades. I'm at about the 2-minute mark, and then he posts a link to the YouTube video. Yes, yesterday was Talk Like a Pirate Day, so I will have to check this out. I'm not familiar with Musical Blades, but I have been listening to a lot of Ailstorm recently. I love those guys. All right, that's all the feedback we got, so let's do some teasing.
Teasing. He's a teasing kind of guy. And I have a job.
Teasing. Tomorrow's song is by Ookla the Mock.
Yay.
And Tuesday's song is by a new artist. So you're going to have to wait and see. And I need a topic for this week's Spotify playlist. Any suggestions, guys? Something I can make
turkeys of any size?
Turkeys?
Really large turkeys?
Let's see. I have to see how many songs there are with turkeys. I know the Hoopers have a song about turkeys, but they're not on Spotify.
Diminutive turkeys, perhaps.
I don't think there's enough songs about turkeys.
Black bears?
Black bears?
Bears.
Polar bears?
Maybe we could just do various animals. Let's just do animals.
Yeah, make it good and broad.
Okay. I will do animals. All right. So, Steve, plug yourself one more time.
SteveGoodie.com and FuMPFest in 2 weeks. That's October 5th through 8th in Richfield, Ohio.
Don't remind me.
I felt if somebody needed to be reminded, it would be you.
Yeah. All right, Rats, plug yourself one more time.
BelleIsleRats.com, and you can find all of our catalog on all the major streaming services, Apple Music, Spotify, etc., etc. So when you've got absolutely nothing better to do with your life, check us out.
All right. Let's get out of here. Thank you for listening to the Funny Music Podcast. I'm Devo Spice. Luke Ski is off doing improv, and there's other people.
Thank you for listening to the Funny Music Podcast. You can listen live every Thursday night at 10 p.m. Eastern, 7 Pacific at DementiaRadio.org and join us in the chat. Or subscribe to the podcast feed. Look us up on iTunes and be sure to leave us a review. Feedback for the show can be sent to info@thefump.com. The Funny Music Podcast is a production of Fidem Interactive, LLC, released under a Creative Commons share-alike license. Tell your friends, tell your enemies, shout it to random people on the street, and be sure to visit thefump.com for the latest funny songs. Tune in next week where you'll hear Luke Ski say,
Yes, and no!